Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be playing This Is Not a Test, Fallout Edition, where the Brotherhood of Steel will be facing off against the NCR on this little battle map. And the mission we'll be playing today is called Snipe Hunt, where the objectives are to search for relics or clues to relics in these 6 locations marked on the map with some gravel next to them. Those are worth 2 victory points for each one that's searched successfully, and then 1 victory point for taking out a model. And then our hazard today is this plague carrier, which will be roaming the map looking to feast on her flesh or whatever. So with that, we'll go ahead and also NCR will be on that side and the Brotherhood will be on this side. So with that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the units. Alright, so here we have the Brotherhood of Steel, aka the Reclaimers for the This Is Not a Test rules. So we have a Lord Reclaimer right here in the middle, armed with an assault rifle, and he's got the power armor, and his skills are Against All Odds, Called Shot, and Motivator. And then next we have 2 elite units, both Reclaimers, with power armor. One has a minigun, the other one has a heavy melee weapon. And then lastly, we have a Seeker with his combat armor, assault rifle, and a small blade. This is about 457 points. So with that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the NCR. Alright, and here we are with the NCR. It'll be led by a warden, or road marshal actually, with heavy metal armor, 2 pistols. His skills are Called Shot, Defender, and Motivator. And then behind him we have an Outrider, who is a marksman and a ranger. And the warden, which has Bold and Fury of Blows. He's got the riot armor, heavy weapon, and a machine pistol. And then over here we got our NCR troopers. We got 2 officers in the back, one with a rifle, one with a submachine gun, and then 3 deputized settlers, each with a rifle. One's got a knife, one's got a heavy weapon and a bayonet, and I think one of them just has an improvised weapon of some sort. So with that, we'll go ahead and get deployed and start the game. Alright, we have deployed our units. The Brotherhood of Steel, we have the Lord Reclaimer and a Seeker on my right flank, followed by my heavy weapons and my 2-handed heavy weapon Reclaimers on the left side. And then for the NCR, we have an officer and a deputized settler over here, officer and a deputized settler over there with the warden, and then over here on her left flank behind this building we have a deputized settler, the road marshal, and the outrider. So with that, we'll go ahead and roll off initiative to see who goes first. It should be a D10. This was our 3rd game playing, so we'll probably make some mistakes, but let's have some fun. So 5, and a 4. So for that, the Brotherhood will go first. And we'll go ahead and start off over here with the Seeker. So he's going to try to activate, let's see, his medal is a 5, and then a +1 for the Reclaimer, or the Lord Reclaimer, with his motivator stat. So a 6 plus 6, that's 12. That will activate, so he will move forward with his 2 actions. And that's what he gets to, making his way towards the first location to search. Next up, we'll do the Lord Reclaimer. Alright. That's a 2, which might fail. Let's take a look. I don't think he gets benefit from his own motivator. He's a medal of 7, which would bring it to a 9, which is still a fail, unfortunately. So he will have 1 action, so he's just going to move forward, and then we will go to the NCR's activation. Alright, and that's where he ends up, in the ruins here, and then the turn goes over to the NCR, and we'll let her activate her units. Alright, NCR, the Outrider and one of her deputized settlers got their activation off, so they did a double move, but the Road Marshal failed, rolling a 1, so he only moved up once. And then with that, we go back to the Brotherhood side. For my other 2 models, we'll do my heavy support. That is a fail as well. So he's just going to move 5 inches, and then we go back to the NCR. Alright, so we flip-flopped a couple more times, but the rest of her units moved up into position. 2 of them are on the objective here. One's behind that building over there, 1 in the building here, and behind that barricade. And then I activated my units. One's behind this barricade, getting line of fire, and this guy's sitting on the objective. And then the Hazard, the Blade Carrier, moved out of the building and then moved towards my guy over here, as he was the closest visible enemy unit. So that, we go to round 2, and we'll roll off for initiative again. It's a 4 to a 9, so the NCR will go first. Alright, starting off, the deputized settler here is going to try and search for a relic. So she needs a target number of 10. She has a medal of 5. That'll do it. So she finds 1 relic, and that one is now unsearchable. And then we move on to her next model. Or she gets 1 more activation, then we'll move on. Alright, with his 1 activation, he moved over to this concrete barricade, and then another one of her deputies activated, and then with its first activation moved up to the next relic location, and then she's going to search it with the second activation. And that is a 10, so she scores another 1, and then we continue to move on. Alright, the NCR activated most of their models. They all just moved forward some. Over here, everything moved forward, if not moved twice, if not once. And then my Seeker over here failed his activation, so he moved forward on this relic location. And then my Seeker activated, and he moved forward, and now he's going to take a shot at the Outrider over here. So I got a -1 to my shot. I got a range of 6. I need a 10 to hit. And that is a 1. That is a fumble, which means I need 2 actions to unjam my weapon. Alright, great start. And then we'll move on to my Reclaimer over here. With an 8, that'll pass. Gets 2 activations. So he's going to concentrate and then pour fire into the plate carrier. Okay, so I'm not going to concentrate because I have Burst and Hail of Lead, which means I shoot 2 shots per AP that I use, and then with Burst I can use all of my AP to fire. So I'll be firing 6 times with the minigun into the plague carrier. So this will be a -1 penalty, though, because I am going with Hail of Lead. So I need 10s, and I have a metal or ranged of 5 down to 4. That's one jam right there. I'll be jamming. But I got, that's an 8. That's a 9. So I got 2 hits. 2 hits on the Plague Carrier. I'll just go ahead and mark that. And then I am jammed for 3. Which isn't all that great. But hopefully I get a score hit on that guy. So, and then next up, this guy here will activate. And that is a 1. Power armor is prone to malfunction, and since I rolled a 1 on my activation chest, he malfunctioned. So I will need to repair that, and until then I cannot move or shoot. And Plague Carrier is really close, probably within charge range. So that ends all of my activation, and so we're going to do the damage versus the Plague Carrier. So this is a Strength 6 minigun versus Defense 7 Plague Carrier. So let's get high. Those are good numbers right there. And so you take 1 wound, as that one will block 1 shot. So the Plague Carrier takes 1 wound, and though it does have 2 wounds, so it is still alive. And with that, it's going to move in probably to this poor guy. Alright, so the Plague Carrier charges into my guy and gets an automatic kick since he is immobile with his broken armor. And then, so we'll be rolling to wound. It's a Strength 5 with a +1 to the natural weapons, so it's a 6 to her roll. I, on the other hand, get a +10 to my roll for my defense of 6 and melee armor of 4+. So let's see what happens. And I rolled a 1. That's perfect. So that's an 11. And that is an 8. So I just barely pass. I got lucky there. So with that, that'll be the end of the round 2. And we'll roll off to see who goes next. Or first. 2. 2 again. Roll off again. 3 to 8. So the NCR go first again. And we'll see what happens. Alright, first things first. The Outrider activated successfully and is going to search the ruins. 6 plus 5, I believe, which will do it. And so she scores 1 more clue marker. And then it gets 1 more activation. Alright, next up, so the Outrider is now going to fire into my Reclaimer, my Lord Reclaimer. It has Marksman, so it'll ignore my light cover, and then she has Burst as well. So 2 shots. Need the 10. What's your ranged? 5? Alright, you need a 5 or higher. And that's 2 hits onto the Reclaimer, and then we move on to the rest of our models. Alright, next up, the Road Marshal moved up, he activated, and then this guy, the Deputized Settler, activated, he failed, so he only moved up once. So then we will turn on to the Brotherhood side, but before that we'll do the damage for my Lord Reclaimer. So I have a +10 to my roll, and then she has a +7. And I rolled a 3 and a 1. Please roll low. Alright, so that's a 13 and an 11. That's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And with that, actually, I get to roll d6s with this because of the power armor. Nice. So I'll take that. So I'll take 1 wound instead, putting the Lord Reclaimer on 1 wound, and then he'll have to make a morale test, which I think he fails. So he will have to move back and then we'll move on to the Brotherhood of Steel. Alright, Lord Reclaimer falls back, and then Brotherhood activates. We'll go ahead and start with him. And it's +7 with a 4. That'll pass. He's going to use his 2 actions to clear his jam. And then we'll move on to my Seeker over here, which will pass. And so with that, he's going to use his first action to search the ruins, which will do it. He's got a medal of 5, I believe. Double check. Yes, he does. So that's 2 points for me. And then for his second action, I will maybe try and shoot this thing over here. Alright, Seeker could not shoot at the Plague Carrier, it's too far away. So that will go ahead and move on to my Support Reclaimer. That's a 7, that'll pass. He's going to use his 2 activations to get rid of 2 of his jams. And then lastly, we'll start with this guy, which will also pass. So he's going to use his first action to repair. I think I got a roll for that. Let me double check. Alright, I need an intelligence check of 10. So I got a +6 to this. And I failed in my repair, so that's 1 action. So I'm going to spend my second action to repair it as well. And that'll do it. So he's now repaired, but he's still got a Plague Carrier on his ass. So with that, that is all of my units, and we'll move on to the rest of NCR's models. Alrighty, so the rest of our NCR units moved forward, heading towards this relic location. Warden, has the Warden moved?
No.
No? Okay. And then we just came to this officer over here who's going to shoot into this melee. It is concentrating, so it'll get a +2 to the shot. And then it is on burst fire, so 2 shots. And it's a +6 to both, so both of those will hit. And then roll a die for each one. So 1 to 5 will be the Reclaimer, and then 6 to 10 will be the Carrier. So 1 hits the Plague Carrier, and the other one, that will hit the Paladin, or the Reclaimer. Alright, and then we move on to the rest of her models. Alright, lastly, the Warden moved over here towards this relic location. And this guy moved once, and that's it for the NCR, as their wave of bodies are just pouring into the Paladin zone. And then next up we'll do wounding. So we'll do the Paladin first. So I have a defense of 9 total. And then what's the damage for the strength for your weapon? Submachine gun?
6.
6, alright. That's an 8. That's 17 for me.
8 for me.
8 for you. Alright, so it misses, it bounces off the Paladin. Forgot to roll the D6 as well, but oh well. Alright, and then I believe a defense of 7 for the Plague Carrier. Which, that's a total of 7, 8, 9. And it misses the Plague Carrier as well. It doesn't wound either of them. Too bad. I would have taken that. Alright, and then with that we go to round 4. Let's see who goes for first. Come on, Brotherhood. I'll take it. Brotherhood goes first. I'm going to need that. Alright, first off we're going to start with the Lord Reclaimer. That's a 5. That'll do it. He activates. And with his 2 actions, he's going to concentrate and pour burst fire into this guy over here, this deputy. It's 24-inch range. Should be able to make it. Yeah. Alright. So that's 2 shots. He has a range of, let's see, 6. And a +2. both of those will hit, as the Seeker takes 2 hits. And then we move on to my Seeker over here. And that is a fail, so he only gets 1 action, which doesn't really help me too much. So he's just going to peek up behind cover to get an angle on the enemy. And then moving on, we'll do this guy over here, which passes. So he's going to spend 1 action to unjam his weapon. And then second action, he's going to fire into the warden. He has burst fire. And then he gets an additional attack, or additional shot with hail of lead. So it's 3 shots, shooting range 5. So that's 1 hit, and I jammed again. So that's 3 more jam on this poor fella. Oh gosh. Alright, but I do get a hit on the warden. And then we move on lastly to my guy here, which is a 1. Oh my gosh. So he now malfunctions his suit again. Alright. So he's going to spend his 1 action to try to repair it. Which he does. Alright, I'll take it, I guess. And then we move on to the NCR's turn. But before they do that, we'll do damage. So, burst fire weapon. Let's see here. Assault rifle, strength 7 versus defense on your deputy. Alright, strength 7 on the deputy, and his defense 6, 2 shots. Let's see what we got here. So that is 15 and a 10.
Right.
You beat both of those. That's an 11 and 12, which only gets 1, but so you do take 1 wound, which will be enough to take him out of action, giving me 1 victory point, which I desperately need. And then we move on to the warden. I got 1 shot with the heavy support, which is strength 6. What is the defense on him?
6 plus 1 for the armor.
So 7. All right. That's a good roll. That'll be 14 for me. And 7, so 12, 13.
Just barely made it.
You got a 7, so that's 12, 13. I got a 6, that's 14, so I beat you. Alright, you take a wound. We have...
How many wounds does he have?
Pretty sure he just got 1. Yep, just 1 wound. Alright, so I got 2 kills. Warden goes down. I'll take that. And then, with that, we move on to NCR's turn. Alright, NCR moved up to this relic here. Then followed by the warden moving up to the container. And the outrider trying to sneak up behind my seeker for next round. And then over here, this officer did not move, concentrated, and is going to try to take a shot at my paladin right here. So she gets a plus 1 to this roll. For light cover, negating the, then she go, so it's a 5, so that'll do it. So that's a hit on him. And then we move on to these 2 guys over here. Who's next? Who's first?
We'll do this guy.
Alright, deputy. That'll pass. And then he'll activate.
I think I'm just gonna try to shoot you.
Alright, so this one moved a little to the right and then was getting line of sight on this guy. So she will be able to take a shot. So she got a ranged of 4 and then a -2 for light cover and moving. And a 10 will do it. So he takes 2 hits. One with a rifle. Both with rifles. All right. And then we move on to your last guy, which is the officer over here.
If he can, he'll try to shoot.
Which he gets it, and you're gonna try to shoot at these guys again?
Yes.
All right. Concentrating?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a +2, and then burst fire. All right. So it's 2 shots, and a +2 to your roll. So that one definitely hits. What's your ranged on the officer? Ranged is 4, so up to a 6. 7, 8, 9. It does not do it. So just 1 hit. Go ahead and roll that die again. See who it hits. 1 to 5 is the paladin. 6 to 7 or 6 to 10. It's the plague carrier. Paladin it is. All right. And then that's all of your units, right?
Yes.
All right. So we'll go ahead and roll damage. So we'll start off with this guy here. Since they're both rifles, actually, yeah, they're both rifles, so same strength. We'll roll those at the same time.
Same time?
Yeah. I get to roll my d6s with the die. And then because I've been in the aura of the plague carrier for a while, I'm now down to -2 in my defense. So my defense is now an 8 with the armor. And then what's the strength of the rifle?
They're both 7.
All right. I will add 8 to my rolls. You will add 7. So, first one is a 9. That's good. Second one is a 5. So it's a 13 and a 17.
Okay.
And it's also 12
Yeah.
to my 13. So they both missed. Don't do any damage. All right. And then we'll do this guy, which was, what's the range of the submachine, or the damage strength of the submachine gun?
Let me check.
This is also a -2 to my defense, so I have defense 8.
You want another range?
So it's a 16. No, the strength. Of the
6?
6, okay. So I got a 16. And that is a 15, which will not do it. So they both plink off the armor of my paladins. And I'll live to fight another day. With that, we'll go ahead and roll off initiative for round 5. It's a 6. And the NCR will go first. Alright, starting off, the Outrider is going to try to activate first. Go ahead and roll. That'll do it. With his 2 actions, what is he doing?
He's gonna focus and shoot.
Concentrate and shoot? Alright. What's he got? Has he got a burst rifle as well?
I'm checking.
Alright, it is a burst rifle, so she'll be taking 2 shots. And she needs, she gets a +2 to her roll for a total of 7. That will do 1 hit on my Seeker. Alright, who's next?
We're gonna do this guy.
Alright, Road Marshal. Go ahead and activate next. That's a 1, so he fumbles. Just getting 1 activation.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to Brotherhood of Steel. Alright, before we move on to the Brotherhood, we're going to do the damage outcome on the Seeker. So I got a +8 to my roll for my armor. She got a +7. That's a 17 for me. Nope, doesn't do it. Alright. And then we'll move on to the Brotherhood. We'll go ahead and start off with the Seeker, since he's right there. And that's a 1. Alright, he's just going to turn around and take a shot at the Outrider, which will hit. And then that ends Brotherhood of Steel's turn for now, and we'll go ahead and roll damage. Let's see, the Seeker's got the assault rifle. Actually, it is burst, so second shot will miss. Strength 7. What's the defense? Defense 8. And that's a 17.
Oh.
That'll I think I do a wound. That's
14, I believe.
14, 17. That'll penetrate as the Outrider takes a wound. He's only got one wound. So I take out another casualty, and then we'll move on to NCR's turn. Alright, she decided to activate this deputy next, which goes off, and then she's going to try and search that relic.
Yep.
Needing a 10. That'll do it. That's another 2 points, and then there's just one more relic left. Who's next? Oh, one action left. Do you want to do anything? Take a shot?
I'll take a shot.
Take a shot at him? Alright, go for it. That's a 7. That should hit. Alright, even with the cover. Yeah.
Oh, with the cover?
That'll hit. Alright, moving on. Who's next? Okay, officer?
Yep.
Alright. Officer here is going to activate. 3. Nope, that's a fail, so he gets one action. What's he doing?
He's going to shoot.
Taking a shot at my dude. So this will be a -1 to the roll. That'll do it. Critical. So he takes another hit. 2 hits with rifles. And then who's next?
This guy's going to try to hit too.
Last deputy's going to try to take a shot. Let's activate. He activates, getting 2 actions. He's going to concentrate, right?
Yes.
Alright, so minus the cover. So this will be a +1 to the roll with the deputy. Let's see here. There we are. So range to 4. That with a +1. Which that'll be to it. Another hit on this guy. Alright, and then lastly, this officer here.
He is going to try to shoot at your guy that's in.
Well, let's see if he activates. It's a 4.
I think it's just 5, so I failed.
So yeah, just one action. What's he doing?
He's going to shoot.
Shoot. Alright, burst fire, 2 shots. Those will both hit. Alright, 1 to 5 paladin. So 1 hits a paladin. The other one, re-roll that one. That one will hit the plague carrier. Alright. That's the end of NCR's turn, so let's do damage outcomes. So, we'll start with the rifles going into this paladin. So, what's the damage or the strength of the rifles?
7.
7, alright. And then they haven't activated yet, so defense +8 to my roll. First one, that's an 8, so 16. Second one, 11. Third one, that's 13. Roll one more. Took 3 hits.
Yeah, the third one's for...
There. That one will definitely miss. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 7. That misses. And then this one is also a miss. I believe. So that's a 16 plus 7, 16 as well. Which I believe ties go to me. Let me double check. Alright, so evens go to the defender, so I don't take any wounds. But I do need to make a morale check, which I fail, so I have to go to cover or go prone. I'm already behind cover, so I don't think I need to move. So then we will go to submachine gun into my other paladin. This is a +8. What is the submachine gun?
6.
6, alright. That's a 10 for me. And a 1 for you, which is not enough. I barely get by. And then 7 for the plague carrier, which I rolled an 8.
I'm hoping I don't kill him.
So 15, 15, 15. Defender succeeds, so it doesn't take a wound. Alright. And then that's all of NCR's units. So then I will activate next. We'll start off with my Lord Reclaimer. I get a 7, so that passes. And he's going to concentrate and fire at... maybe not. I don't think I can see him. Nope, can't see the guy behind the truck. Actually, I don't need to shoot him. Since... You know what? We'll go ahead and shoot this guy right here. Since he is in range. I think I already ranged. 24-inch range. Yeah, that'll do it. So we're going to concentrate for +2. And then burst fire.
Oh.
Both of those will hit. He takes 2 hits. And then moving on, we'll do this guy. That is I got a metal of 6. So he passes. He's going to use his 2 actions to unjam. And then he goes down in defense because of the plague carrier. So he's now down to -3 to his defense. And then lastly, my last dude, he passes. No malfunction this time. And he's just going to concentrate and smack the plague carrier. So one will definitely hit. Second one will strength 5 +2 to my strength because of the suit. So that one will also hit. So those both hit. He takes... I don't know why I rolled 2. One of those will hit. So then that is the end of the Brotherhood's turn. So now we roll for damage. We'll start off with the ranged attack on this guy. So 2 shots, strength of 7 versus defense of
6.
7. Because your armor. There we go. So that's 15 for me for both of those. And 7 as well, right? So one of those fails. That's a 14. So he takes a wound, and that takes him out. I get another kill. Alright. And then we'll do melee combat on the plague carrier. Alrighty, so now we're gonna try to wound the plague carrier. It is defense 9 and melee. I have strength 9 with my heavy weapon and power armor. So that is a 17 for me. And 15 for you. As the plague carrier takes his second wound, taking him out and leaving my guy open to claim the last relic location for this round for the game. So with that, we'll go to round 6, and we'll roll off to see who gets initiative. It's a 9 for me. Oh, and NCR goes first. Let's see what she does. All right, this officer is going to activate first. That is a 2. That is 1 activation. Oof, it's a fail, and then it'll go to my turn. So you have to kill this guy. All right.
Just 1.
Just 1. Taking a shot. 7. That'll hit. And then we go to my turn. So let's roll for damage. I'm at, let's see, 4, 5, 6. I'm at a 7 to my defense. Now, that'll be a 16. Nope. You do not wound my reclaimer / paladin. And then we move on to my turn. We're going to activate him. It's a 4 + 6 metal. That passes. He's going to use his 1 activation to search. I get it. Gaining me 2 victory points. And that is the last ruins. And then then we're going to fall back behind cover. So I don't take any wounds. Next up, we'll do this guy, which he passes. He's gonna unjam his last one, and then go prone. And then lastly, actually not lastly, we'll do Lord Reclaimer. He's got a 7, so he passes as well. He's going to he's just going to move behind these walls, get out of line of sight. And then my last guy over here fails. So he is going to just go behind this here barricade, or this dumpster. And that is all of my units. And then NCR will activate the rest of hers. Alright, Road Marshal activated. He moved out behind that container and is going to take a shot at my Seeker. So this will be a -2 to your roll. Range 6, so it's about 4+. That'll do it. That's a 10. That'll hit. That'll hit the Seeker. Who's next? I think you just got 2.
Yep.
Alright, we'll do this deputy here. He activates. What's he doing?
I wonder if I can move him right here a little bit and get into line of sight with this guy.
I'm pretty sure you have line of sight from there. So, yeah, I'd say you have line of sight.
Okay.
So you're going to concentrate,
Yes.
take a fire, so this will be +1 to the roll. He's got a range of 4.
I believe so. Yep, 4.
Alright. Nope, that'll be a miss. Then lastly, your last deputy over here out in the open.
He's gonna try to
He
shoot
hits it.
with this guy.
Alright. Concentrating again.
Yeah.
Alright, so it'll be a +1. 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a miss. And so then we come back to here. My Seeker, he's got a defense of 8 versus the pistol. What do we got here? Pistol, strength 6. Oh yeah, that'll do it. That's a 17. Versus a 15. Which does not wound the Seeker. And that brings us to the end of round 6. And the end of the game as all the relics have been discovered. For a total of 6 points to NCR. And 8 points to the Brotherhood of Steel. As they pulled it off somehow on the back foot the whole game. They managed to get some kills and take the win. Thanks for watching, guys.